Today we're going to be looking at the nitrogen cycle, which in consideration is maybe a cycle you haven't heard before. However, it's a very important cycle as it actually goes to explain how we're able to get protein which builds muscle mass for our bodies. Let's take a look at, first off, some of the uses of nitrogen. The nitrogen cycle. Nitrogen. The element of nitrogen is important for animals and plants. Plants need it for growth as nitrates, NO3. Nitrates are essential for plant growth as they allow for plants to be firm, grow tall, and capture more sunlight for photosynthesis. Animals need it for proteins as well as DNA creation. Nitrogen is cycled throughout the atmosphere in organisms. The nitrogen cycle. Heterotrophs and detritivores need to eat the plants in order to be able to gain the important nitrogen, which can be used for protein creation as well as DNA creation. This allows for an increase of muscle mass and a non-breakdown of muscles. Thus, the nitrogen cycle is an important part of keeping fit. Nitrogen starts in the atmosphere as N2, but N2 is unusable by most organisms. Somewhere around 80% of all nitrogen is stored in the atmosphere, but once again, it is unusable. There has to be a way to take it and turn it into something usable. Nitrogen fixation then occurs. Bacteria and plant roots take N2 gas and oxygen and turn it into nitrates. N2 turns into NO3. Nitrogen-fixing bacteria live in the plant roots of all plants. You see them as little bumps on the roots. These take the unusable nitrogen gas and turn it into nitrates for the plants to use. Consume. Heterotrophs take in plant material and eat the nitrates, turned into protein. NO3 then becomes protein. Since consumers can't fix nitrogen on their own, they must get it from plant material. It is then exchanged between higher consumers and detritivores and turned into protein. Waste. Organisms will put nitrogen back to the earth as ammonium through their waste/urine. Protein turns into NH3, or ammonium. When humans urinate, it's the expulsion of unused nitrogen back out into the system. This is in the form of ammonium, which is a foul-smelling liquid composed of nitrogen and hydrogen. From there, it can go one of two ways. The first is nitrification. Nitrification is when nitrifying bacteria take NH3 and turn it back into NO3. Nitrifying bacteria take the ammonium in waste and urine and turn it into nitrates, which is usable for plants. That means in diluted amounts, urine can actually be beneficial to plants. Once again, diluted. Denitrification. Denitrifying bacteria turn NH3 back into N2 gas. Denitrifiers take ammonium and turn it back into N2 gas, which then promptly goes back into the atmosphere as unusable N2. Here's a chart showing how the nitrogen cycle works. Your question for the weekend is this, and it's kind of a good one that'll lead us into our next unit. Does an increase in nitrogen into organisms cause a healthful or harmful effect on their bodies? For example, an increase of nitrogen in plants, as well as a major increase of protein in humans. Thanks. Have a good one.